Hey guys, this is a demonstration video about the exercise finger-ons. I found this one from the Flux interest page for this season. Dakota McConnell posted it on a public page and said, hey guys, do this assignment, I'll give you some comments and then we'll go from there. So I think it's a really helpful exercise. Read through the basically the priorities and the purposes on the sheets that Dakota put out, but it's essentially reaffirming the fulcrum, what that means. And that's what kind of what we're doing in our demonstration videos of our technique and picking up the sticks. But this is to do it in motion and in context of an exercise. So I think it's super helpful. I think it's really cool. And let's get into it. So this is all eighth note based. As you can see, it's like eighths. It kind of pyramids down from like a full bar from each variation to half a bar of each variation doing it twice, like a lot of our stuff does, like grids and all that kind of stuff. So variation 1, just the fulcrum. So like we talked about, really good fulcrum, and just wrist and good legato motion using just the fulcrum in eighth notes. Variation 2, basically as we go through this, our goals are to not get in the way of the stick's natural resonance and feel. Like that's as pure of a sound out of the stick we're gonna get. Good rebound, letting it go where it wants to go and making it sound like it wants to sound. So we're gonna do that with a little control, not just letting it fly back there, because that like exploded. We need a good fulcrum, good sounds. And then what's gonna happen is at the top of the stroke, before variation 2, we put that middle finger on, and that's variation 2, is when you have those two, you're just your three-pronged fulcrum. And the goals of this are to not get in the way of the stick, is to put that finger on right at the top of the stroke, bam, on, and just to not put any extra pressure on it that gets in the way of the sound, good, and then you just like start pressing and it doesn't look good, doesn't feel good, doesn't sound good. Our goals are to just feel in motion how the fingers coming on affects our sound, or how it supports our sound and continues to feel super loose and legato. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on 1. Kind of, you don't have to do it on the rhythm, but just right at the top of the stroke. Then it continues on that. Do a whole bar, top of the stroke there, and then whole bar, top of the stroke there, and then you have your whole hand doing a good legato motion. Bam. A lot of people tend to grip too hard with the pinky. They're like, full hand legatos, and it kind of hurts. It's like they're all good, all good, all good, and then they start kind of slamming and gripping just because that pinky's on there. Because now everyone's like, don't let your pinky fall off. But good space in the pinky is good, I promise. So that's that one. Left hand, kind of equivalent. First variation, good rotation. If you're not comfortable with just this for a good long time, this is what is the foundation of your traditional grip. So we need to just sit there and work on that for a good long time, not letting the stick just like fly out of there and make something look bad. Just nice and controlled in there. We need to make sure that if this bottom part of the meat is moving, of your hand is twisting, that means you're using wrist. So we need this to look like that. This bottom part rotating a lot. Then variation 2, right at the top of the stroke, put that finger on. And it's just these two, and it's kind of weird. But not getting in the way of the stick, it feels pretty comfortable. And if you're not comfortable with any one of these variations, you just got to sit there for a little bit. Let the rebound and the stick do its work. And then right at the top of the stroke, when you need to, put on that third finger. So now we have these three. Same thing, if you're not getting in the way of it, it should be pretty comfortable. Sound should not change out of the stick. It should even be more full than it originally was. And then the fourth variation is just putting on these bottom two fingers for a full hand. Not gripping, just like the pinky, but contact without pressure. In motion with the legato stroke. So the whole exercise should look like this, and we want 2 reps, just like the eights as well. And that's the end. So have fun with that one. This is not a chops exercise, as it says on the sheets. This has a lot of purposes that are just going to be super helpful in the future. So this week, you know, all super foundational exercises that are going to really benefit us in the future. And then some stuff so I can see what you guys are made of. So continue having fun, and thanks for listening.